It is the Golden Globes today and we're very excited. It's going on right now, but Jennifer Lawrence looks divine.
Potentially the best dressed person on the red carpet. I was blown away by this. Jennifer Lawrence is wearing custom Givenchy and it's this beautiful floral sheer. And I know everyone's saying the naked dress is over. And yes, the naked dress is definitely over in a way. But this isn't even that because it's this beautiful sheer dress with this gorgeous floral embroidery on it. And she's just got her hair like beautiful blonde, sort of flowing over her shoulders, very loose. And like a satin wrap with the same floral embroidery across it.
It is so gorgeous. Now, I saw it's Dior. Is it Dior or is it?
Check the tags of Givenchy, but maybe they're incorrect.
E-News is saying Dior.
Oh my gosh. So a designer feud happening. It makes more sense because she's one of the faces of Dior.
It makes more sense to be Dior, but I'm not
scandal.
sure. I can't confirm or deny that.
Well, she looks great either way. We're not a fashion podcast, so that's fine.
If you're coming here for fashion
look
stuff,
elsewhere.
maybe you have to look somewhere else. But the reason I love this, it's quite different for her. I don't think I've seen her in a lot of this sort of floral embroidery before. And I really like the fringe. I really like the fringe. And I really like the makeup is very muted and pretty. It's a very pretty look.
Yes, pretty without being kind of like cutesy with the floral. And she does love a sheer moment recently, like at the Vanity Fair after party for the last Oscars. She wore that kind of more formal gown on stage, but then afterwards she wore that sheer dress with the kind of granny panty underwear underneath, which again, a very overdone red carpet trend, but something like the way she does it makes it seem a little bit classier. So she's one of my first picks for Best on Ground.
Yes.
Coming in strong. Anyone else that you're loving or hating, indeed? We can hate the dress and not the woman.
Okay, so I absolutely loved Brittany Snow's outfit. Now, she was one of the first to arrive on the carpet.
Clever.
Very clever. We were talking off air that the best thing to do is if you're not a major A-lister like a Jennifer Lawrence, you need to show up early because otherwise no one will see your pictures.
Yeah, and you do get arrival time. So like if you're kind of the lower in the pecking order, you have to come earlier. But I would be, not that Brittany Snow isn't a big star, but obviously when you look at some of the mega stars that are there, it was really smart of her to like be on the carpet early because she was the first one who you saw every outlet blasting her picture and videos across all of their different platforms just so everyone could have the race in the morning for be the first platform to have something up is huge.
Oh, you should have seen The Office this morning. I should have recorded it because it was like refresh. It was like
it's so intense in here on an award show day.
It's very intense. So Brittany Snow is wearing Danielle Frankel. It's this white strapless gown, which was quite sort of Grecian. She's got this beautiful little bits coming out on her hair. Hair's up. But the reason I loved it so much is it had this crinoline hem. So the hem was like, this really stiff fabric. If you don't know what crinoline is, it's kind of like horse netting kind of fabric and it makes it really stiff. So when she turned, it was like a little bell.
Yeah.
I just thought it was so pretty and it just moved really well. It looked gorgeous. She looked very angelic and she's all over all of the outlets.
Yeah, exactly. So a few more that we're love. Well, here's some that I have question marks over where love the actress, unsure of the dress. The first one is Chase Sui Wonders, who I love. And she was wearing that. And just because she's such a kind of it girl and she's such a kind of, I don't know, I was expecting something maybe a little bit more surprising or avant-garde or something. But when I saw her dress, it's nothing wrong with it. No one looks bad. That's the thing. Maybe that's the thing that's wrong. No one looks bad on red carpets anymore because they're all styled with an inch of their lives that sometimes they get any kind of individuality beaten out of them. And it's just this sea of perfect column dresses and perfect slick back buttons. So Chase Sui Wonders has just a green strapless dress on. It's lovely. She's got her hair pulled back. She's got a little diamond choker. It did look nicer in the video as most dresses do. But when I saw it, it just kind of looked like a high school grad dress or a prom dress. And I thought if you're like one of the youngest, hottest stars at the moment, maybe, and maybe that's her style, but I've seen her wear better things. I was just a little bit like, this is your moment to really shine and not wear something that looks like a 10th grade formal dress.
Yeah, there have been a lot of very, very bright colours on the carpet
which
this
I
year,
do love that.
Which is nice. So like in that sort of similar green, Rose Byrne is wearing almost an exact replica of Keira Knightley's Atonement dress. It's a Chanel gown, really pretty. I like that a lot, but I do like the, pops of colour. However, it can be interesting as well.
Well, that's the thing about Rose Byrne's dress is it looks a little bit more, I don't know, there's something a bit chicer about it. Just maybe it's the cut or maybe it's the way she's got her hair
also
styled.
Chanel.
Yeah, but also sometimes Chanel can look dowdy on a red carpet when styled on the wrong person. Like a lot of people, Margot Robbie, have learned that the hard way. Yeah. That it can go wrong. But that looks quite like...
Yeah, she looks stunning.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a formal dress.
It's basically a replica of the Atonement dress, and it's one of my favorite movie looks of all time.
Yeah, which many people have tried to recreate that Atonement look, and no one's really captured it in the way it comes across in the movie. It's just one of those dresses that's like, it's like when everyone tried to wear their How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days dress, and it just looks like nothing on anyone else on a red carpet. It's only that moment of Kate Hudson in the movie. Speaking of movie stars who I love and adore, I was quite unsure on Alicia Silverstone's dress. Again, it's that kind of – I love the red on her.
I do like red on her. It's, again, very Clueless, a bit of a Clueless throwback.
Well, I love how anytime she wears any colour, everyone's like, it's a Clueless throwback. Like that is – I know what you're saying because I saw those pictures this morning too, and it's such – obviously in Clueless she wears the little red mini dress, and it's the one where she gets and she gets mugged in it, and it's one of the best movie moments of all time. She's literally just wearing a red dress here.
Yeah, but still.
But it's fine.
Just let me live, okay, Laura? Let me live.
Hey, I was on board with it too, and I almost like give her a pass just because of that. But again, I guess it's that very safe, classic Hollywood, like waves to the side, diamond choker, strapless red dress. Some people don't love the ruching, how it's coming up over her hips. I don't mind that.
I don't like the draping from the centre as much. Again, she does look really beautiful.
She does look, and also I'm just always so happy to see Alicia Silverstone. I almost don't care what she's wearing.
Yeah.
But I do love that being Cher from Clueless gets her a pass on every red carpet for the rest of her life, as it should.
Okay, so my next one is a bit more niche.
Okay.
But I really have to talk about it because there is a story behind it that is just really taken up a lot of my brain space.
Yeah.
Haleyybaylee.
Haleyybaylee, yes. Okay,
the influencer, TikToker. She kind of went pretty viral at the Met Gala one year for doing a Marie Antoinette sound on her video.
The let them eat cake thing.
Yeah, let them eat cake. People got really upset at her. Anyway, she was there. She was doing interviews, like just some interviews with celebs and stuff. Now, she was wearing a purple gown that has been quite divisive.
But that's why she wore it, right? That's her whole bread and butter is having those viral moments at award shows because she does interviews, right? But also, and I know she's allowed in the room, but often a lot of her content is her standing off to the side as celebrities walk in. She calls out things to them, like nice things.
I love you, basically, is what she says to everyone. Now, I'm not trying to be a hater, but it's not a great dress.
Yeah.
It's not a great dress. It is very Maleficent-y. It looks like very 80s prom-y. It's purple. So I went to her Instagram page and I was looking at her most recent reel. She posted something with Hudson from Heated Rivalry.
Yeah.
And she changed. She's in a red dress now.
Oh, she's pulling a Zendaya at the Met Gala.
So it was really confusing. And then I went and was looking up more stories on her and came across she's divorcing her husband.
Yes.
Right?
I was going to say this is the only thing I know about Haleyybaylee.
And then reason her husband is now suing her for $750,000 because she said on a live stream that his penis was like 3 Coke cans.
Yeah, so that is what she's in the news for at the moment. I was thinking that. So I think they've been divorced for quite a while. They were amicably divorced. I believe he's remarried, which is maybe why he's suing.
Is, yeah.
And yeah, she said that on a podcast. That's the reason they got divorced was his penis was too big. And he's now suing her for sharing private information.
I just went down this is just from seeing her dress. I knew who she was. I've seen her content before. She does make quite nice content. But I just went down this rabbit hole and I was like, what am I looking at right now?
Yeah.
Anyway, it was very entertaining to me.
But I mean, good luck to her in that lawsuit. All the headlines around that are like, Haleyybaylee surprised by husband's lawsuit. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure she is. But also the reason she's wearing that crazy over-the-top dress is like that, again, that's her bread and butter. That's her business. That's the only way she gets like big press at these kind of things. If she was just wearing a chic column dress like everyone else with her hair pulled back, there's no way she's getting included in any of those lists or red carpet roundups. Really, not again.
So you think it's calculated? This is a calculated
yeah, but
move.
I think she would say that too.
Yeah.
Like she's really open about the fact of how she's like built her fame and everything. Again, she's got so many followers followers, so it's not like she's not an unknown person. But I think if you're going to an award show and you're someone who's there to like get content because you're not nominated, you're not in TV shows or movies, you're not one of the really big interviewers, that you have to then wear a dress that gets you included in all the galleries, which she's done.
And also there's been a lot of discussion. I know we discussed this sort of last award season of influencers now being invited into these more A-list Hollywood spaces, and there is that sort of transition between being an influencer and then there's that next level up of being proper famous.
Yeah, exactly. And so she's kind of like teetering on that line. Is there anyone else that we absolutely loved? Or I've got more that I love.
Okay,
who else did you love?
I really liked Tessa Thompson.
Me too. I had to look at it a few times. It's also one of those dresses that I did go and watch the video.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Beautiful. So it's like a sequin, like a very kind of like dark green sequin strapless gown.
Fully beaded.
Balenciaga. And it looks beautiful in the picture, but it wasn't until I saw the video of her descending the staircase. Also, the Golden Globes has really upped their red carpet situation this year.
It's like the first thing I noticed. I was very excited about it.
They've got a stairs. Huge. And the stairs are proving to be an actual gold mine for the photos. And
I love
also
a stair.
A much better backdrop than usual. Is that why everyone's dress looks better this year? Is that why everyone's wearing colour? Did they all get a heads up that the red carpet, it was going to be kind of these like muted warm colours this year? It was going to be a darker red carpet. There were going to be stairs. Everyone's got their stair look prepared. It's like, it's almost like they're trying to recreate the Met on a very small scale.
It's also giving like Venice Film Festival, you know, where you can see photographers in the background. So normally what you would get is a flat media wall, and often they can look, depending on what the background colour is, the stylist will know what it is so that the dress doesn't clash with said background. But this year what they've done is they've created this very like, there's kind of these curtains that are that sort of champagne-y colour, classic red carpet. It's very traditional looking, but with the stairs added, it definitely makes it look a lot more grand.
And I think also last year was the year they had so much branding on the media wall. It was like giving me a seizure to look at it, so I couldn't even see anyone's dress. So maybe that's why everyone looks hotter this year. Bland but hot, which, you know, is a very staple look in Hollywood. Yeah. What did you think of Ariana Grande in her black custom Vivienne Westwood gown? Because everyone was kind of really waiting to see her as one of the big nominees of the night.
It's a bit underwhelming for me.
It is, but also all her red carpet looks for last year almost, except for maybe like her Oscars dress and a few. The thing is, when she was in full Glinda mode on the press tour, she was wearing those crazy pink princessy dresses, and so she was getting a lot more attention for those for theme dressing and also for being kind of really standing out on a red carpet. But since then, she's now she's now very thoughtfully changed her tact, I should say, because she's been very open about this, that she's trying not to cosplay as Glinda and she's trying to be Ariana Grande, serious actress, and that's why she's dyed her hair dark.
You can see that. You can see that. It's a beautiful gown. She looks stunning.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I look at it and I'm like, I know this is a beautifully crafted dress. I know that it's been fitted to perfection. It's timeless, but at the same time, it is kind of like a slightly underwhelming black gown. And after she wore like the underwhelming kind of cream column dress, I think it was to last year's awards actually, and it kind of just like with the high ponytail, and she's just really muting herself so much. I just don't know if it's her style. That's what I always think. Like, is that your style, or you're trying to like be very, leading up to the Oscars race, is your tact trying to be a very serious actress because she's one of the favorites to win Best Supporting Actress?
Yeah. As a general rule, I don't like black on a red carpet.
Yeah.
As a general rule. And I love black. I love wearing black. But on a red carpet.
Not on a red carpet when it's the dress has to be so special. Because you know who is wearing black and who I really did love from this year's awards is Jenna Ortega, who's wearing that beautiful.
That's how you wear black.
Because the dress is so it's high necked. It's got these very long tassels down either side. It's open on each side, so it's like a tie top then going into a black skirt. very her, very just, it's showing a lot of skin, but also because it's so high-necked and covered up, it also looks really like chic. And it's this very Gothic glamour that she pulls off so well.
It's got that really gorgeous, strong shoulder that comes almost out past her natural shoulders.
Yeah.
It has a very square top.
And it looks very
pretty.
show-stopping even though it's black. The only thing I was
Gorgeous.
looking at I saw some of the original runway pictures that dress posted in her dress, and the model in the runway has this like beautiful silver headpiece. And I was like, oh, maybe she should have worn a headpiece.
Yeah.
That would have really, I think, kicked it over the line.
Another one that is black but also quite good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going back on my thing here. Tiana Taylor and Schiaparelli.
Yes.
Okay, stunning. I also just love everything Tiana Taylor wears. I think she's one of the best dressed women in Hollywood.
Yeah, and she's walking, and also while that she's both in the worst rated show of the year with All's Fair and in the highest rated movie of the year with One Battle After Another, and she's probably going to win an Oscar for the same year that she's in the worst TV show ever. And she is walking down the carpet with a confidence woman who knows all of that and is like, I'm the real winner of this.
Now, another one that I really, really enjoyed was Kate Hudson.
Oh, with the silvery gown.
Yeah, so she's wearing an Armani Privé gown, and it's quite a typical silhouette that we see on Kate Hudson. It's quite up and down in the column dress, and it has that kind of 2000s neckline, the halter neckline. The reason I love it so much is it looks like it's it looks like water. The way that it's draped is so, so beautiful. It's this really gorgeous silver sort of metallic-y fabric. And the way that it drapes down and it joins down the center of her body, both of them drape in together, the way that moves and photographs, I just think looks really stunning. So she's actually nominated for Song Sung Blue. So you expect her to look fabulous. But I wasn't expecting that movie to be so good.
Yeah, it is a great movie and she's great in it. And it does, I mean, she's kind of on the line, on the cusp of whether she'll be nominated for an Oscar, but it's looking super possible. Yeah. And I do want that for her mainly so I can see her dress, because when she was first nominated for an Oscar 20 years ago, her dress got absolutely rubbish. If anyone hasn't seen it, go look it up. But she actually looks amazing. Like, time was on her side. That dress has aged really well. And the haters at the time just didn't understand what she was doing. So I'm excited to see her on the red carpet. Speaking of women who I'm like weirdly obsessed with their fame, even though they're super famous. Like Kate Hudson, I said this before, like I'm like rooting for her like she's an underdog, even though she's absolutely not. Another underdog I'm always rooting for is Jennifer Lopez, who was supposed to be on the awards circuit this year. She thought she was going to be nominated. Well, her camp did and her team did for Kiss of the Spider Woman, and she wasn't. But she's still like, that movie didn't really get the critiques and the fame that I think people thought it would. But she has just rocked up to the Golden Globes looking like $1 million. And I'm sure people will say we hate it. I'm sure people say we don't want to see the naked dress. To that, I say get out of here. Do you not like it? Is that why you're covering your face?
I'm questioning your judgment now.
No, she looks hot.
I'm
not taking any comments
you.
of that on this time. She just looks like classic Jennifer Lopez, and she stands out. Like, that looks like an award show dress in a sea of bland column dresses, which everyone looks gorgeous. It's lovely. In a sea of kind of just like straight up and down white and like a classic curled hair and a choker that everyone's wearing to be safe, which I understand because the internet is ruthless. Jennifer Lopez has showed up just looking like a movie star.
She has like a lovely body.
And yes, she really, and you need it for the dress, because the dress is, you can see her belly button clear as day. It's almost like a mesh. I can't find the designer because she's just started walking the red carpet, but as we're recording, but it's this beautiful mesh gown, long sleeved. The breasts are covered and the bottom half is covered, and that's about it, with the kind of the pattern of this like dark brown. And then it goes into this full mermaid tulle cream look. And again, I'm sure she's on 100 worst dress lists by tonight, but I think she looks amazing. And the thing is, she's dressing for the event. She's dressing to be a movie star, and that's what we need. If I wanted to see a sea of like formal dresses, I go stand creepily outside of high school.
Okay, so I've just seen Vintage Jean-Louis Schura by Stefan Roland.
Great. I don't know any of those words, but she looks great.
I probably mispronounced it. I apologize in advance.
But I just feel like I know she gets a lot of shit for her like crazy gowns and over the top looks, but I'm just like, that is why you're a celebrity. wear that or go home. I know there's
Yeah.
a bunch of serious actresses that just want to do the art and they show up to these award shows and they don't love them, but they go because it's part of their job and they wear what they're comfortable in. I'm all for that as well. I'm all for wearing what you're comfortable in, but that's not for Jennifer Lopez. That's not for proper movie stars or like people who are iconic pop fixtures in pop culture. They must wear over the top gowns. That's the rule.
Okay. All right. Look, I'm not going to yuck your yum. You do you, girl. Not my favorite. I did actually really like what Nikki Glaser was wearing.
Oh, is
I
Nikki
thought
Glaser
she
the
looked-
host?
Yeah, Nikki Glaser is hosting the
Mhm.
awards. She hosted last year, so this is her second year hosting the awards. And she's wearing a Zuhair Murad, who is actually one of my favorite designers, Zuhair Murad gown.
Yes.
So it's a ball gown, classic ball gown shape. We have a sweetheart neckline, ruched bodice, and then like a full pink skirt. It is really, really pretty and a
Yes.
lot more feminine than I've seen her in. I think she normally does slightly like a sexier or not edgy, but she's usually not in this sort of way of this really, really pretty style.
Yeah.
I would see Ariana Grande during the Wicked Press tour
Yeah,
wearing a
wearing
gown
like a
this.
princessy gown.
It's quite similar to that sort of vibe. I think she looks really pretty.
She does look really pretty.
And I'm interested if she is going to be opening the show in this or if she's going to change. We haven't seen the show yet.
The ceremony hasn't started as we're recording.
But I think there's something quite funny about wearing something that looks really sweet and then ripping celebrities to shreds.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
That is a nice balance
vibe.
with what she's wearing. I just love anyone who kind of like looks like they're wearing their own style. And someone else who I loved was Bella Ramsey from The Last of Us. So they are wearing this beautifully cut like a black satin suit with a white tie and shirt, which is a look that they've worn many times on different red carpets. But then they've added this is what I mean. You can wear your own look, but also look like you're dressing for the occasion, because then they have paired it with this. I mean, they can't lift their arms up, but that's okay. Why would you need to with the Golden Globes? They are wearing this beautiful dark pink satin sash tied around the top, like tied over the suit with a rosette in the middle. And all of the pink silk is draping down the back of Bella's suit. And they just look amazing.
I really like it too. It is it's Valentino pink is what I would call that pink. It's fuchsia. It is so, so bright. The juxtaposition. Love me some juxtaposition today between the black and the pink. And it's really interesting to look at. They do look slightly uncomfortable. Like they can't lift their arms.
Oh, they can't move, but also beauty is pain.
They cannot lift their arms. Partly like T-Rex arms at the moment.
Yes, I'm sure they'll take it once they sit down to the dinner. They'll take the sash off and then it'll be okay. You know who else looked chic as hell?
Oh, no, you're going to I know what you're going to say.
Which one?
Go on, tell me.
No, I don't think you know. No,
Okay,
I have got to. No, you'll agree on this one. Emma Stone. In
the
yellow.
I haven't seen this
okay.
yet.
She is in, again, looking chic as hell.
Oh, love her.
Again, this is how you can kind of be a little bit safe, but also, I think, look a bit movie star-esque.
I like the
Look at me
abs.
in my t-shirt sitting here giving fashion advice.
Hey.
I love a red carpet. I just want everyone to look crazy. That's all I want.
Okay, can I just say one thing though? If you are listening to us and not watching our VOD, Laura has brought a very, very beautiful sequined skirt to the studio today. And I was like, you've dressed for the Globes.
And I was like, no, I just needed something dressed. But you know what it is? You could get away with the skirt at the Globes.
Laura is wearing sequins and I'm in sneakers.
But that is the beauty for podcast. Everyone has their personal style. So, well, speaking of sequin skirt, Emma Stone she's wearing like a beautiful light lemon yellow. And then she's got a lemon sort of sequin, but very the video of it was beautiful because it has all these like almost crystal beads and that were kind of swinging slightly as she was going down the red carpet. But then she's got her stomach showing and then a very simple lemon yellow silk top and just like a very kind of and that looks like her real hair, because remember how she shaved her hair for Begonia that she's nominated for, shaved her head, and then she had to wear a lot of wigs on the red carpet after that, which a lot of actresses do. I'd say like probably 80% of the people on that red carpet tonight are wearing a wig, or they're wearing mostly hair extensions, so it's kind of a wig. But it's so funny because she was so aware she was wearing a wig, because she usually doesn't, that she kept moving it the whole time, so you wouldn't have been able to tell it was a wig. And she has said this on the red carpet. She said this in interviews. She was like, yeah, I kept touching the wig and I kept moving it, and that's like a big no-no on a red carpet. But that's her own hair growing back.
Do you know, the reason I love this is it's kind of giving me a little bit like Calvin Klein-y 90s, 2000s.
Yeah.
That's why it's so I think that's why it works so well. And the fact that the skirt is sort of below the belly button and we see the abs, it's really chic, super cool.
It looks like
you know
something
what?
that
She's dressed. That's a winning dress right
that
there.
is a winning dress. I don't think she's going to win. I mean, we'll see coming up because she's not super the favourite this year. She's like the favourite to be nominated and everything, but potentially not win. But it does look like a winner's dress.
It does.
She's had a few, like remember when her Louis Vuitton dress broke when she got up to get her Oscar? And she's had a few other little malfunctions over the years. So maybe she was like, we put the top on, we put the skirt on, and nothing can move, nothing can break. And she does look very kind of like what a supermodel would wear in the early 90s to the Oscars when it was a bit more kind of lax.
Okay, should we talk about some of the men?
Yes, I'd love to talk about men.
I love to talk about men. I do love in recent years that men have really been, stepping up a little bit on the red carpet.
And yet I still don't really. I mean, I do care I care what they're doing, not so much what they're wearing.
Okay. We would be remiss to not mention our absolute new favourites in this office, and that is Hudson, Williams and Connor Story.
It's like in my notes when I was watching the red carpet, I was putting little notes of what everyone was doing that was interesting or lovely or fun. And I've just got next to Connor and Hudson's names just existing because they literally just walked up the carpet existing and smiled and waved and looked so cute and so happy to be there. And Hudson at one point was very overwhelmed and he's like, whoa.
Yeah.
But they have just somehow won the red carpet just by being alive.
I did not see a bigger reaction in the office until these two arrived.
Yeah.
Particular Connor. Connor really got everybody's knickers in a twist, mainly because they didn't like his hair, but I quite liked the mullet.
Oh, I thought the hair was fine. I mean,
I liked it. So he's wearing a very classic black suit, which is great, and a skinny tie, and he had these sort of round glasses on, very sort of Beatlesy and this scruffy surfer boy hair.
What's with the little glasses this year? They've
love it.
all got the little Jacob Elordi walked so slowly up the stairs with his head down. He was like lurching up the stairs, still looking hot as hell, obviously, with the tiny little glasses on. Glenn Powell had the tiny little glasses on. He took them off to walk up the stairs. Maybe he did falling over. And then Adam Brody also walked with tiny little glasses on.
Yeah.
It is very hot there. I will say that. It's very hot at the moment. A lot of the celebs are talking about the fact that they're sweating, that it's glary, but I don't know if it's just that. Like you pre-plan the sunglasses. I don't think they got out of the car, out of the glove box and were like, it's hot, I'm going to put these on.
Connor's outfit was better with the glasses on, for sure.
That's what some people think about Adam Brody. I don't know. I don't know if I love a man in a tiny sunglass.
Now, I also really like Hudson's look. He was wearing Armani. He's got this white jacket. He's wearing a cummerbund, sort of silk shirt, and he's wearing this really beautiful Bulgari necklace. It's that classic serpent necklace that they're well known for. But because it's so small, it's so delicate, it just yummy.
So hot. And they've been brought in as last minute presenters because obviously they are.
Everyone's gone ballistic over them.
The men at the moment, they're the stars of the moment, men or women. They're the people that everyone cares about. But they can't be nominated for anything. One, because Heated Rivalry is not in the nominee drop window. And two, it was made in Canada, so they'll never be nominated. But they found a way to get them on stage. RIP to the stars who got bumped. Because they would have had presenters locked in. And I know things do change at the last minute with schedules and things, but I'm just going to limit and say that two celebs got bumped for these two hot men, and I'm okay with that.
Absolutely. The other thing about them is that a lot of people have been commenting to me they look a little uncomfortable. And what I say to that is I don't think they do either.
Sometimes when people like start screaming in their faces, but they look pretty happy to be famous.
I would say, though, that is the most overwhelming environment for them to be on. Can you imagine literally 2 weeks ago, basically no one knew your name. Now you're at the Golden Globes with 1,000 photographers screaming your name. Like that would be very overwhelming for anybody.
For anybody.
But bravo to them. I'm like so proud of them. Any other boys that you didn't? Oh, okay. Wait, Patrick Schwarzenegger.
All right. What do you have to say about Patrick? I mean, he just looked like nice, right?
Well, Patrick Schwarzenegger had the glasses too, so he was leaning. Yeah. But his was
whatever Hollywood group chat these men are, or whatever like boys of Hollywood group chat these men are is. One, you can just tell one guy said, "I'm gonna wear glasses," and everyone else is like, "Yeah, bro, me too. Yeah, me too," and that's why they all look like that.
Yeah, he's wearing these sort of square framed glass. They're spectacles, not sunglasses though. And he's got a bow tie and a very loose pant. It actually looks very Tom Fordy. I don't know if it is Tom Ford, but it's got that kind of same vibe as a Tom Ford, and he's got this big brooch on. I actually don't hate it. When I first saw it, I didn't love it. Now it's growing on me.
Yeah,
This is
Amanda
in real time. I've just changed my mind about this outfit.
Amanda can pull off a brooch is impressive. What other men did I like in general? I mean, again, and most of them do nothing for me because I'm too busy looking at all the gowns. But I looked at his picture very quickly and then I quickly swiped away. Joe Keery from Stranger Things.
Aww.
First of all, he looked hot as hell, obviously. And he's blonde, which I don't love it. But
it's very
also,
frosted tips.
Yeah, it's just, I guess he looks fine. He is another man of the moment with his, like, obviously with Stranger Things and having the #1 song and all these things. But I almost didn't want to look at him. One, because the blonde, I just wasn't emotionally ready for that. And I miss his like full-on Steve Harrington hair. But also when I'm so deep in a TV show as I have been recently in Stranger Things, I can't see the people in real life.
Yes.
It's too shocking to be like out of the world.
Another one that I really liked, also a little boy, and he's actually a little boy. It's Duke McLeod. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't think I do.
All Her Fault. He's the son,
yes,
the
yes,
little
yes.
blonde boy. He's like 6 years old. He is adorable. He's wearing a little blue double-breasted blazer and blue pants. And on the red carpet, he was doing 6'7" to the photographers.
Oh, does that kid not know that's over?
It was so cute.
Someone needs to catch him up on a
6.
trend.
He's
Well,
alpha.
he's also a working actor. He needs to get it together.
So he was doing the 6'7" thing too.
No, kid, that's over.
To the camera, and it just made me laugh because my kids do that to me, and it was so sweet. He looks gorgeous. He's so cute. Love it.
Oh, children on a red carpet. Don't know how I feel about it.
You seem very uninterested by that, but he was so cute.
I'm sure.
Look at him.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to say that.
I'm
not going to say the child's not looking very sweet and stuff, but I have just no thought. I have no thoughts on a child either way, which is probably as it should be. I shouldn't be critiquing his outfit. We had a few couple arrivals as well. Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez. She's wearing, again, very old. When I first saw Selena Gomez in the very kind of, once again, doing that very old school kind of almost like 40s movie star with the very chic bob and the red lip, and that she had for a wedding, and she looked so beautiful, and she got such good feedback on her hair from her wedding. I wonder if she was like, let's go again.
It's effectively the same as she did for a wedding.
Yeah,
Slightly different, but it's nice. It's beautiful.
Go with that. And the kind of, she's got like a big frill around the top, then it's just a black gown. And when I first saw it, I was a bit like, I'm kind of over the old Hollywood kind of cosplay that she does, but also she does look really beautiful, so maybe I'm just being a hater. But I do love how she and Benny Blanco, like the fresh little newlyweds that they are, so in love, walked down the red carpet together. But when they got to the steps, they positioned themselves, I don't know whether they discussed it beforehand, that he stood up on the step above her, because he's infamously like only a tiny bit shorter than her, which is not even a big deal at all. But it just made the height difference look even more intense because he stood up on a step, which is what I make short people do around me. And then she's sort of next to him so that in the photos he looks taller than her. It was a choice.
But I mean, go for it. There's like there's similar. He's taller than her, but she was wearing heels.
But she's wearing heels and stuff, which is fine.
I think it's fine too. I have no issues with that.
But also maybe they just thought that's how the photos would look better. I don't know. Leighton Meester and Adam Brody coming down the red carpet. What do you think of those two kids?
I love those two kids. I love Leighton Meester. I think she's so not bothered about the cameras and press, and it just makes me laugh because she's just she just seems really chilled.
She's been in the game so long. I think she's kind of like, and being on such a scandalous show, she's like, whatever. When I saw the photos of her dress, it's kind of like a yellow satin band around the top, and then again the column dress in a silver. I was a bit like, oh, it's a bit drab. But when you see it in movement, like when I saw the videos of her walking and how her hair worked with it, I was like, oh yes, like that. It's meant to be a dress in movement. A photo does not do it justice.
Yeah,
and she was getting quite a lot of hate. Did you see this from the Critics' Choice Awards, where she had this moment of interaction where she and Ariana Grande crossed paths and they had this moment of like yelling across to each other, and I thought it was all really nice. And then afterwards, this whole storm blew up of people thinking that she was mocking Ariana Grande and that she was being a mean girl. And like, one, she's been famous for such a long time and for playing a mean girl that I think she'd be smart enough not to do it in public if that was her persona. But two, I honestly just think that Ariana Grande was being like, she does it. I love you. Oh my God, you're amazing. And then like just to match her energy, Leighton Meester was like, I love you too. Kind of like, I don't think she was mocking her.
No, I
don't. Or if she
also
was bold to mock Ariana Grande in front of 15 cameras.
I also think you can see Leighton Meester has a very dry sense of humour. All you have to do is watch Nobody Wants This, and you can see the way she plays that character. It is like a satirical, it is dry, but it's all done with humour. I don't think she's like making fun of anyone. Now, a couple that was kind of missing. Shamalama and Kylie.
Yeah, so she's there.
She is there. I haven't seen photos of them together yet.
She's wearing, and she's kind of broken her like match with him or wear black rule that she normally has for the red carpet because she's wearing that almost like a champagne coloured gown that is so perfectly fitted that it just looks incredible. So she's kind of gone the full like movie star look with her outfit. I haven't seen them walk the red carpet together. Again, we've been in record, so I think they probably will. And he's probably going to win too. So I wonder if he'll give her another shout out and if he'll keep building until he wins the Oscar and then he'll like be even more emotional.
I can't see any images of her current dress at the moment.
In true Kardashian style, she pre-posted herself first.
Perfect.
Across all her socials so that she could control how she looks in the first images, which is something that Kim Kardashian has started doing because Kim Kardashian has said that she can no longer trust the lighting and the angles on a red carpet.
Fair
and
enough.
So she'll pre-post her own photos.
Fair enough, because sometimes at these award shows there have been times where the lighting has been so awful that every single celeb doesn't
You can't see what the dress
great.
properly looks like. And then they post the photo later, but later's too late. We've already seen the first image.
Yeah, I think but him doing that first bit by himself, I think is very, very intentional. It is, again, I'm a serious actor. I don't want people to make this a joke of me. I am here to win.
Yes.
It was very, very calculated in that sense, I think.
Yeah, and I think that Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner, they're very controlled about their image only because I think it's more controlled in terms of like holding things back. When people say like they're doing this for publicity, they're doing that for publicity, it's like they don't need it. They don't need any publicity around their relationship or their projects. He obviously wants publicity for his film, and so he'll go all out for like publicity stunts for the movie, but everything they do on the red carpet is quite restrained rather than being like, how can we walk to get extra photos? Because they don't need to. Like, they already have the biggest amount of fame you can have for a relationship at the moment.
Well, you see that with all those like really big, and we spoke about this before, but the really big A-listers, they don't really need to do anything. Like Leonardo DiCaprio looks like he just rolled out of bed.
He most probably did.
He literally, I think he wears the same tuxedo to every single event.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you?
Do you know what? He's going to chuck a Karl Stefanovic and then admit that he's been wearing the same suit to every award show for the last 10 years.
I'm sure he would, because he's a creature of habit, and I'm sure he just likes his suit and he goes there and he puts his head down and then he leaves. One last couple that I didn't see walking together that they were there just to finish us off is Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard. So they're an interesting couple because they're a dual nominee couple for the night. So she is nominated for Nobody Wants This in the Best Actress in a Comedy category, and he is nominated along with Monica Padman for their podcast Armchair Expert, and it is the first year that podcasts are involved in the Golden Globes, and they're both looking super chic. Like, he's got the black suit on, she's got the black silky one shoulder strapless gown, but interestingly, I don't think they're doing a lot of interviews. I'm sure they're doing a few and they'll come out later, but I saw Kristen Bell running solo across the photography, like the main part of the red carpet, and she was talking about how crazy hot it was and fanning herself. But this is the first time we've seen them together since that recent interview blew up. Did you see that on his podcast?
We spoke about it last week while you were still recovering from your lurgy. You weren't feeling very well last week. But yeah, we spoke about Dax and Kristen and the share moment. It's really become a very, very big talking point, particularly on socials. I've been seeing a lot of commentary on like TikTok and stuff. People basically going, he hates her. That is the top line.
That is what people, I don't know, there's obviously a lot to unpack, and everyone can go, I guess, listen to the podcast and make their own thoughts about it. But I just thought it was interesting because this was set up to be like because for so many years they were Hollywood's ultimate golden couple. Everyone loved them. No one could get enough of their banter and their relationship, so much to the point that they monetized it and did commercials together, and they launched his podcast with an interview between the two of them, and everyone was obsessed with them. And even though they kept saying, we're not a perfect couple, we're really messy, people didn't want to hear that, and they just loved the idea of them and them being so cutesy, and loved them walking red carpets together. But this is the first really big award show they've done since the two big scandals about their relationship. So one was the anniversary post where Kristen Bell posted about, and it was just before Nobody Wants This season 2 came out, posted about Dax saying like, you know, I would never kill you, even though I could. I love you so much. I would never, not even I love you so much. She's just basically like, she's like, happy anniversary to the man who once said to me, I could kill you, but I never would. And that blew up in such a crazy way. And I don't think she's ever addressed it that I've seen. And so that died down. And then just before the Golden Globes, the Cher moment came up with her saying, like, there must be something in you that I don't see, that Kristen likes you, kind of echoing a sentiment that has been out in the world for a long time. And so this is the first time they've walked a red carpet at a night that should have been like their big winners night. And everyone's just looking at them being like, what are they going to say about the controversy?
It's interesting. I can't remember the creator who posted it, so I apologize if I get this wrong. But they basically said Kristen Bell is the final boss of women who defend their husbands doing horrible things. So there's that trend of, I don't know if you've seen this, of, you know, someone doing something bad. A woman will post, oh, my husband did this. He doesn't want to, like, he won't put the washing away. And then people in the comments go, dude, this guy's not it. He's awful. That's horrible. Leave him. Then the next day they jump on and they go, oh, no, my husband. And then they defend their husband. Go, no, he's actually a really good guy.
Yeah.
So there's that. And it's like people, partners defending their husband's horrible behavior, even though they complained about them in the first place.
Well, that's the thing too.
Which I thought is interesting.
I'm always a little on the fence with the Kristen Bell and Shepard hate, is that I'm not fully convinced that, I mean, the thing is, we just don't know.
No, of course we don't.
We don't know. But we just get more access to them than we do to any other A-list couples just because of that podcast and how much they will sometimes come on and talk for an hour about the, you know, sometimes she'll join them for like a fact check, or sometimes she's just been on the podcast a few times, or he'll tell stories, or she'll come into the room. Like, we just have way more access to them, so we see a lot more of their dirty laundry than we do of other couples. And sometimes I'm like, is it even kind of like that bad, or are we just not used to seeing it, or are there all these crazy red flags? Because there definitely are red flags of bad behavior, but it's also so hard to tell because, again, even though it feels like we're getting a lot, we're still only seeing a tiny little snippet
and I think
of their relationship.
I think the problem with it is that they've opened this box, right? They're the ones that divulge the information first. So now they're trying to put the cat back in the bag, and it's gone, you know? The horse is bolted.
Well, yeah,
to
exactly.
Use
That story is out there now.
Yeah.
I'd also be wondering, again, we haven't seen if they've recorded some since we've been in this room, but I'd be interested if her publicist had told the press not to ask her a question about that, which I almost kind of understand because I'm really interested in her being interviewed about it by a source that's not her husband and having to sort of, and even just being able to address it in her own words and her own space. But I don't think a red carpet, with how crazy that environment is and how quick those answers have to be, I don't think, and you're about to go in and like potentially win an award, I just don't think that's the environment for a question like that. But I also think if you're a journalist and you have Kristen Bell in front of her and she's been in a controversy, it's kind of your job to ask her. So,
but they as you know, when you're on those things, those PRs can be brutal.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I think if they pre-warned journalists, do not ask this question, and the journalists started to ask, I would not be surprised if I saw a publicist take them by the hand and pull them away from the interview.
Yeah, exactly.
I can almost guarantee it. Or the publicist would stand in front of the shot.
Absolutely. Oh my God, so much to say.
drama.
We haven't even got to the
I know,
ceremony.
There's so much. I feel like we've been talking for ages.
Exactly. So we'll end the podcast here because we're going to go watch the Golden Globes now. But yes, make sure you tune back in tomorrow because we'll be doing a Golden Globes special with all the big awards, with all the big moments, any drama behind the scenes. It'll all be there. And also make sure you head over to our Instagram page, The Spill Podcast on Instagram, because we'll post a carousel of all the outfits that we were looking at.